It's absolutely essential that you find a way to differentiate your business from every other business that says they do what you do. The world doesn't need another accountant, another electrician, another poodle clipper. There's enough of those to go around. However, if you started one of those kind of businesses, what the world does need, or maybe what a narrow market segment does need, is another accountant or electrician that does something in a unique way. So it's absolutely essential that you find a way to differentiate your business. And what I have found is that the best way to do that, and because in many cases you do something different than everybody else. I mean, you have a special way that you go about business, or you have a special product, or maybe you've discovered an opportunity or an unmet need out there. So it's essential that you're able to wrap that difference in some form of a core message that is going to get my attention, or is going to get a narrowly defined market's attention, and let them understand how you are different. Because if you don't do this, if you don't find a way to differentiate your business, one of the things that's going to happen is, as a prospect goes out there and tries to find that accountant or that electrician, and maybe they're flipping through the phone book, I mean, basically what they're going to do is, if I can't tell how one is different from another, I'm going to call them up and I'm going to say, how much? Right? Because price is now the only way I can differentiate. And you do not, I absolutely beg you, do not try to compete on price, because I guarantee you there will always be somebody willing to go out of business faster than you. So price is a terrible place to compete. And one of the ways that you get out of that, one of the ways you eliminate price competition, is to have a unique approach. And maybe it's that you serve a very narrow target market that nobody else serves. Maybe instead of being a financial planner who just wants to serve anybody who has money's needs, you're a financial planner who specializes in serving people who have recently sold their business, because they have unique needs and they have unique challenges. And if they can understand that you specialize in that, well, then you're going to be the provider of choice, and all of a sudden price goes down the list of questions. So one of the great the ways that I try to help people find how they're different, because in a lot of cases, if you ask the typical small business owner, they really can't tell you. They provide great service, fair pricing, all the stuff that everybody does or says they do. Well, those of course are just expectations. So if you have an existing clientele, one of the greatest things you can do, really on a number of levels, is to go out and interview your existing clientele. Now, if you don't have an existing clientele and you're trying to think, how can I come out of the gate being different, is if, in many cases, if you can just identify 8 or 10 prospects, maybe. People love to help. And if they understand that you're trying to start a business and get into business and you want to launch this thing right, you'd be amazed at how much time people will spend. Maybe you join a chamber or something like that, and you interview some of those folks. And what you want to find is, in your existing clientele, why'd you hire us in the first place? Why do you stick with us? What do we do that's unique, that you really value? Now, one of the things I'm going to prepare you right now if you do this, one of the things you're going to discover is it's not always the same things that you think. That your clients in many cases really appreciate some of the little things that you just do because you thought everybody did that. That's how your mom taught you to treat people. Well, the good news is not everybody does do that. So in many cases, the little things can be your great place to differentiate. I worked with a remodeling contractor one time, very upscale work they did, and they promoted their quality craftsmanship, and that was their flagship. And so we said, well, let's go out and interview some of these clients. We went out and interviewed them. Well, to a person, they said, well, yeah, they do great work, but we knew they would. What we really love is at the end of every day, they clean up the job site. It was hard to even know they were there except that some work was done. And that's what we really love. And so all of a sudden, the light came on for these folks that they were serving very upscale market. Well, what these folks in this upscale market really appreciated was not only the end product, but how they got there. What they did was absolutely as important as the end product. And so consequently, they changed their entire core message to be about how they worked, as opposed to just, we build these great, $300,000 kitchens. And it made a huge difference for them, just changing that message. So here's your action step for this. One of the things I would tell you to do, I'm going to give you 3 things actually, is if you have existing clientele, go out and conduct these interviews and listen very carefully. Don't let them just say, oh, you provide great service. You know, dig deeper. What's that look like to you? Or when did we? Give me an example. I mean, really dig deep. Next thing I would tell you to do, and this applies whether you have existing clients or you're just getting started, is go out and look at all the folks that you believe either are or that you believe will be competitors of yours. You know, the internet has made this a terribly easy step. You can go out, everybody has a website now, so you can go out and look at what they're saying. How are they positioning themselves? How are they saying they're different? And the good news is, I will tell you that most of them are probably not differentiating themselves. They're all saying the same things. So it will demonstrate to you what an opportunity there is for you to take a different direction in a target market, or in packaging your business, or in the way in which you ship your products. I mean, all the little things that would allow you to say, here's how we're different. And then the last thing is, of course, tapping the internet. Go out and look at the world market. Find other companies around the world, or certainly around your country, that are in a similar business years. And I think you will find that you might have some clues for ways in which you can really seize an opportunity to differentiate your business. So do those 3 things. Go out and interview some clients, look at your competitors, and look at the world market, people you may never actually compete with, but that could give you clues for how you could differentiate your business.